I'm sure you've all played the murder game before. One person is chosen as the killer, his identity being carefully concealed from the other players. Tonight, at dinner, one of us will discreetly be handed a little scarlet plaque by the butler. He or she will get one of us alone, tap him or her on the shoulder and say, "You're the corpse." He will then switch off the lights, and the victim falls down as though dead. Then the murderer gives a terrific swipe to the Assyrian gong, like this.
We present Jeremy Clyde as Chief Detective Inspector Alleyn in A Man Lay Dead by Niall Marsh.
And I wish the murderer could have waited until I'd finished my nails.
I can't see a thing.
Someone turn the lights on, for heaven's sake. Now, careful, Marjorie. Keep hold of the banister.
Can anyone find the switch? It's just at the bottom of the stairs.
I'm there. I've got it.
Well, here's our corpse. Right beside the gong.
It's Charles.
Good old Charles.
Don't touch him. Don't anyone touch him. You must never disturb the body, you know.
The lady speaks with more wisdom than she knows. This man is dead. Undoubtedly, let us not touch.
He can't be dead. Charles! Oh, my God! Charles! Charles! Come back to me!
Where was this? Frantic Hall? Well, that's a Hubert Handesley's place, isn't it? Chap who used to be ambassador to Russia. Well, I'll be there just as soon as I can. It ought to take me about a couple of hours. Who's in charge there? I see. Sergeant Bunce.
A very nasty business, Inspector Alleyn. The superintendent being took very bad with the flu and no one here to handle the case, we rang up the yard immediately.
And where's the body?
It's been moved, sir.
Moved?
Into the study. Well, it's no good looking at me. Apparently it had already been so much disturbed and pulled about, the doctor decided it wouldn't make much difference.
And where's the doctor now?
Oh, he's gone. Got called off to another case.
I see. Well, there's no point in making a song and dance about it now. But who was the victim?
Name of Charles Rankin. A writer of some sort, apparently, and an old friend of Sir Hubert's. He was one of a party of 5 guests spending the weekend at Frantic. They're mostly old friends, I understand, and get together here quite often with Sir Hubert and his niece.
His niece?
Yeah, Miss Angela North. Oh, a really charming young lady. Anyway, on these occasions, there's generally a game of some sort in the offing. Last night, they were playing something called Murders. Well, you may have heard of it, sir.
I'm not frightfully keen on busman's holidays. Where was the body lying?
Just over here, Inspector, at the foot of the stairs, alongside the gong.
The floor's been washed.
And the gong's been disinfected.
How was he lying?
On his face, apparently. A dagger had been driven in between his shoulders and had pierced the heart. The doctor reckoned that death would have been instantaneous.
Right. I think that before we go any further, I'd better have a word with Sir Hubert.
He's in his room, sir. The doctor told him to rest for a while on account of the shock of it all. But his niece, Miss Angela, is expecting you and should be down shortly.
And where are the rest of the party?
They've been warned not to leave the house, or at least to go no further than the grounds and the gardens. Just at this moment, one of the ladies is in bed, and the rest of the bunch is in the library. A solving of the mystery.
Ever had dealings with a case of this sort before, Sergeant?
Never, sir. Petty larceny is the best they can do in these parts, with a smack of furious driving. This will be a bit of an ad for the village, if looked at in the right light. We've got a special reporter on the spot, too.
What do you mean?
A Mr. Nigel Bathgate, of the Clarion. He's one of the guests staying here.
Singularly fortunate.
Here he is now, sir, with Miss Angela.
Hello, Inspector. We were told you were on your way. This is Mr. Bathgate, who has been very kind and helpful in telegraphing and telephoning and all that. He is Mr. Rankin's cousin.
How do you do?
How do you do? Well, I'm very sorry. This must all have been most distressing for you. Is there somewhere we can talk, Miss North?
There is no one in the drawing room. Shall we go in there?
I think it might be best if we began with a rundown of the guests. Perhaps we should start with the dead man, Charles Rankin. He was your cousin, Mr. Bathgate?
Yes, he was, though I really didn't know him all that well. He was a writer. You may have come across some of his books.
He was a bachelor?
Yes. I think he was rather reluctant to commit himself to matrimony. Women seem to have found him rather irresistible.
I didn't.
And did he have any close relatives?
Well, no, not really, except for me, of course. I'm his heir, I believe, and he left me the bulk of his property, though I think that Arthur Wilde may come in for a bob or two.
And was this your first visit to Frantic?
Yes, it was. I'd heard a lot about Sir Hubert's house parties, of course. Charles decided it was time I was initiated. We travelled down on the train together. The other guests, Arthur and Marjorie Wilde and Rosamond Grant, were in the next carriage, although we didn't realise that until we got to the station here.
Hello, Rankin. Thought you must be on the train somewhere.
I looked out for you at Paddington, Arthur. Have you met my cousin Nigel Bathgate? This is Rosamond Grant.
Hello, Miss
And
Grant.
Arthur and Rosemary Wilde.
How do you do? You're going to have to walk, Charles. There'll never be room for us all in the Bentley.
You can sit on my knee, Marjorie.
Here comes Angela in the fire eater. Now there will be tons of room for everybody.
What a disappointment. Our passion is thwarted, Marjorie.
Nothing on earth would induce me to drive in that scene with Angela. Famous archaeologists should not flirt with death.
So I drew the short straw, so to speak.
How very ungallant. But you were very brave. And I'm quite a careful driver, really.
Mr. Rankin, Mr. and Mrs. Wilde, Rosamond Grant. Were those the only other guests?
Oh, no, there was...
Excuse me, we have not met. Allow me to make an introduction of myself. Dr. Fuma Tokaref.
Nigel Bathgate.
I see you are admiring Sir Hubert's collection of Oriental weapons. He is a great authority.
Yes, some of them look pretty ferocious.
I am told we are to play a game of murderings. That should be jolly good fun, should it not?
Yes.
Uncle Hubert has a passion for party games. I used to think them frantically amusing, until last night.
And the dagger with which Rankin was murdered, was that an item from your uncle's collection?
Swords and daggers of every conceivable size and shape. Long and thin, short and stubby, with nasty, jagged edges. The murderer certainly has plenty of weapons to hand.
Put that beastly thing away, Rosamond. Gives me the horrors. All knives do.
In that case, I'm going to terrify you, Marjorie. I'm actually carrying a dagger in my overcoat pocket.
How perfectly disgusting. But you've always had an overdeveloped sense of melodrama.
Why on earth have you brought it with you?
It was sent to me yesterday by a countryman of yours, Dr. Tokaref.
How very strange.
That's exactly what I thought. I met him in Switzerland last year, did him rather a service, lugged him out of a particularly nasty crevasse. He'd lost 2 fingers through frostbite. Now, I brought it down here to show Hubert. It's in my overcoat in the porch.
I'll get it.
I hope you don't expect me to look at it. It's like one of those nasty things you write about in your books. That's why I never read them anymore.
Poor Marjorie has an aversion for knives or pointed weapons of any sort. It probably conceals a rather interesting repression.
Do you mean that she's a secret bloodthirster?
Here we are. I presume this is it.
That's the one.
Oh, your service to your friend must have been of considerable value.
And he actually sent it to you as a gift, you're saying?
Yes, as a gift.
What the devil have you got there, Charles?
I thought it might interest you, Hubert. Careful. It's extremely sharp.
It's Mongolian, obviously, and of the greatest antiquity. What a beauty! You've aroused my worst passion, Charles.
And what does Dr. Tokaref think of it?
I suggest that to possess such a knife is not altogether enviable.
What do you mean?
You have doubtless heard of our Russian secret brotherhoods, often very strange, with ritualistic ceremonies and horrible mutilations.
Horrid.
This knife is sacred. The symbol of one of these societies, and very ancient. To make a present of it was not orthodox. Therefore, for a person outside of the Brotherhood to have the knife is not enviable.
Oh, gracious! It's 8 o'clock. Time we were dressing for dinner.
And can you tell me of anything else that happened that evening which might have any bearing on the case?
No, nothing. Nothing at all.
Right. So let's move on to yesterday, the day of the murder game.
Nothing very much at all happened in the morning. Everybody got up late.
I went for a walk with Sir Hubert and tried to draw him out on the subject of the Russian Brotherhoods. I thought it might make a piece for the Clarion.
Was this in any way related to the murder of the Russian in Soho the night before?
Yes. The paper rang me about it just after breakfast, and seeing that Sir Hubert is an expert on all things Russian, I thought I'd give it a try. But he was rather cagey about it all. He suggested that I talk to Tokaref.
And did you?
No, I didn't. There's something rather formidable about Tokaref.
So when did the murder game actually begin?
At 5:30. Uncle Hubert made rather a big thing of it, but then he always does. We all assembled in the hall.
And what stunning little number have you been saving up for tonight, Marjorie? I'm sure you're going to astonish us with yet another new dress for the murder game.
Well, as it happens, Rosamond...
Now, may I have your attention, please? In 5 minutes, the game will be on. Now, you all know the rules by now. Last night, one of you was secretly given the scarlet plaque, so that person is to be the murderer. In a moment, I shall strike the gong as the signal for the game to commence.
So what is the murderer supposed to do exactly?
After he or she has chosen the victim, the murderer must make sure that they are both alone and unobserved. Then, as I have said, he taps the chap on the shoulder and says, "You're the corpse." And the victim falls to the ground on the spot.
And the killer hits the big gong and turns off the lights?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And you must all say exactly where you are for 2 minutes to enable the murderer to clear the scene.
In the dark? I don't think I care for that idea.
But if there aren't any lights on, how the devil are we going to know when the 2 minutes are up?
You count second by second, Arthur.
And then we all venture out and feel our way about.
Yes, I'm sure you have no trouble in finding a light switch. Now, any more questions?
I don't think I'm going to enjoy this game. It all sounds much too terrifying.
I am, as you say, already on the tender hooks.
Right, then let us begin. The gong shall not sound again until the murder has been accomplished.
And after that, things got rather out of hand.
How do you mean?
We all moved in here and there was a bit of a rag.
Yippee!
It all began with Marjorie hurling a cushion at Dr. Tokaref.
Is not this an example of a British scrap? Is it not so that when an English lady projects a cushion at the head of a gentleman, it connotates sporting desire?
And then Rankin decided we were going to debag Arthur Wilde.
Come on, Nigel! Come on, Hubert!
Whoa.
Hey, get him off!
Get him off!
Charles always tended to overdo things when he joined in a rag.
I don't think Arthur found it at all funny.
You smashed my spectacles.
Oh, darling, you look too stupid to be believed.
Gosh, what a lovely sight. Last time I debagged Arthur was at Eton. Yeah. God, what a ages ago it all seemed. Music! Music! Well, come on, Rosamond, let's dance.
I'm too hot.
Oh, then it'll have to be Marjorie. Come on, Marjorie. I bet you tango quite sensationally. Oh.
I don't know if I ought to tell you about what happened after that. It seems disloyal to Uncle Hubert.
Somebody else will tell me if you don't.
I suppose that's true. Well, obviously, Uncle Hubert had been brooding about that dagger that Rankin had been given, and was beginning to get rather obsessional about it.
Why don't you sell it to me, Charles? I'll give you much more for it than you deserve.
No, I can't do that, Hubert. It wouldn't be right. But I'll tell you what I will do. I'll bequeath it to you. Nigel here gets most of my possessions, so remember, my lad, when I kick the bucket, Hubert is to have the dagger.
Well, for tonight, I'm going to hang it in a place of honour, at the foot of the staircase.
Yeah. Now then, let's have a cocktail. There's murder to be done.
It all sounds quite excessively macabre. Can you give me an idea of where everyone was at the time immediately before the murder was committed?
I'll do the best I can. Rosamond went up first, I think.
I'm going to take my drink up with me. No one will try to murder me in my bath, I hope. And I shan't come down again until I hear voices in the hall.
And Marjorie and I followed her almost at once.
And then Tokaref and Sir Hubert.
Leaving you downstairs with Rankin and Wilde.
Shall I bathe first?
Yes, do, Nigel. It's safe enough for Charles and I to be left together. Whichever of us tried to do in the other would be accused by you as the last person to see the corpse alive. So I'll claim the bath in 10 minutes.
Arthur and I share a bathroom. It leads off to a dressing room on his side, with his wife's room beyond that.
And when did Mr. Wilde go up?
About 10 minutes after me. I'd finished my bath, and I heard him turning on the taps.
Charles is mixing himself yet another cocktail. No bloodshed yet, at any rate.
I shall be far too frightened to go down on my own.
Well, let's wait until Marjorie's ready and all go down together. If you don't agree, I shall know that you're the murderer.
In that case, I'll agree.
How are you getting on, Marjorie? You going to be long?
And then the housemaid came in with the shaving water. She was very flustered and launched off into some long rigmarole as to why she'd forgotten all about it. I told her that I'd managed perfectly well without it, and at that point, all the lights went out. For a moment, we both just stood there, rooted to the spot. And then the girl made her way out and along the corridor.
What the devil's going on? The murderer hasn't wasted much time.
Remember, we've got to wait for 2 minutes so that he can get clear. I've got a luminous wristwatch, so I'll tell you when.
Well, how the devil am I expected to find a towel?
I waited until the 2 minutes were up and decided to set off downstairs.
Turn on the lights as soon as you can, for heaven's sake. I'm going to miss all the fun if I can't find my trousers.
So I struck a match and started to make my way down the staircase. I found the light switch and there was Charles, lying by the side of the gong.
We all thought it was part of the game. It wasn't until Dr. Tokaref took a look at Charles that we realised he was actually dead.
Right. Thank you both very much for providing such a clear account. Well, now I should like to talk to the other guests, but I'd better have a word with Sir Hubert first. Perhaps, Mr. Bathgate, you could find out if he feels up to seeing me.
I simply cannot take it in. I've known Charles Rankin all my life. We were all such good friends. It can't possibly have been one of my guests.
I understand that Sergeant Bunce has already been questioning the servants.
But most of them have been here for years. It must have been someone from outside.
To your knowledge, Sir Hubert, did Mr. Rankin have any enemies? Anyone with a reason for wanting to get rid of him?
I can think of none, but obviously there must have been.
Nobody who would benefit from his death?
Only young Bathgate. He inherits the bulk of Charles's fortune, I think, and Arthur Wilde would come into a small bit of money. But I cannot believe that either of them...
Quite so, Sir Hubert. And now I'd better have a word with your guests. I understand they're in the library.
Yes. Part that is from Mrs. Wilde. She's still in her room, I think. She seems to have taken poor Charles's death rather badly.
I'm sorry to hear that. Was she...
She has a somewhat nervous disposition. She is really terribly upset.
I see. But even so, I should like her to be present with the others.
I'll ask Angela to have a word with her. Shall we meet up in the library? Wait a quarter of an hour?
I have only this to say. A man was done to death in this house at 8 minutes to 8 last night. Now, it's possible, but only just possible, that the crime was brought off by someone from outside. However, until the inquest is over, I'm afraid that none of you will be allowed to leave Frantic.
And do you have any idea when the inquest will be?
It will probably be held on Thursday.
Is that absolutely necessary, Inspector? This would mean that my guests would have to stay cooped up here for 3 more days. I know that some of them, the ladies in particular, are naturally longing to get away from this unhappy atmosphere.
Sir Hubert, I understand the difficulty of your situation, but I'm afraid that all personal considerations must go to blazes.
I entirely agree. It is inconvenient, but inconvenience hardly counts at such a time. And my wife, too, I'm sure, will understand that.
I'm very sorry to have kept you all waiting. Oh, no, please, don't anyone move.
There's a chair here, Marjorie.
Thank you.
Now, I think I understand the principles of the game which ended so tragically. I do not think, though, that I'm clear as to what would have happened if a sham victim had been found lying at the foot of the stairs instead of a real one.
But excuse me, this is how you say an irrelevancy.
It is quite in order, Dr. Tokaref. Otherwise, I should not ask.
Well, the answer to your question, Inspector, is that we should have held a mock trial with a prosecuting attorney.
So that we could find out who had been given the scarlet plaque.
Or, in other words, which was the murderer?
Well, then I think the game should be played out. I shall take upon myself the role of the prosecuting attorney. I trust, however, there will be no difficulty in establishing the identity of who is the recipient of the scarlet plaque.
No difficulty at all, Inspector. It was given to me.
Thank you, Mr. Wilde. Tell me, had you formed any definite plan about how you were going to carry out your role in the game?
No, not precisely. I was thinking of it as I lay in the bath. When I heard the gong and the lights went out, I was just going to shout to Nigel that it couldn't be the murder when I realised that I should be giving my own show away before I brought it off. I thought it would be easy enough to find a suitable victim while the lights were still out.
Mr. Wilde, in the words of the popular coloured engraving, when did you last see Mr. Rankin?
I was talking to him alone in the hall before I went up to bathe and dress.
And he was still there when you went?
Yes, he said there was just time for another drink.
Did anyone see you together?
Yes, Mary, the little between-maid, came in and went to lock the front door. I asked her the time, and she said it was 10 minutes to 8. So I ran straight up the stairs saying, "Good Lord, we'll be late," or something of the sort.
So that presumably Mr. Rankin was left alone in the hall from a little after 7:50 until 5 minutes to 8 when he was killed. That's about 4 minutes. Thank you, Mr. Wilde. So we've established that from 7:30 onwards, and during the time of the actual murder itself, you and Mrs. Wilde and Mr. Bathgate were all calling out to one another.
Yes, we were, though I couldn't actually hear Mr. Bathgate from where I was in the bedroom.
Perhaps we might now turn to you, Dr. Tokaref.
Thank you.
You went upstairs with the first contingent, I believe.
Please?
With Miss North and Miss Grant and Sir Hubert. Did you go straight to your room?
Yes, immediately. This I can prove, for I am in a good mood when I am in my room last night, for I sing all the time fortissimo.
And what were you singing?
I sing Mussorgsky, The Death of Boris. Many would have heard.
Yes, I heard.
I certainly did.
I am still singing when the gong sounds and all the lights go out. I count 60 twice in Russian, then I come out.
I understand that you were the first to realise what had happened, that Mr. Rankin was actually dead.
Yes, I was the first.
And was it you who moved the body, Doctor?
No. I said it must not be touched.
Wait a minute, let me explain.
Never mind now, old girl.
No, Arthur, I must tell the inspector what happened. I lost my head, you see. I pushed them all aside and knelt down by Charles. I pulled him over and looked at his face and tried to call him back. I dragged his shoulders away from the blood and I felt the knife gritting on the floor underneath him. I only moved him a little.
I'm very grateful to you, Mrs. Wilde, for telling us exactly how it happened.
So now that we have established my alibi, I should like now to go to London. I have a most urgent meeting.
Well, I'm afraid that's impossible, Dr. Tokaref.
But it is most important.
Everyone must remain here. Sir Hubert,
Here?
What were your movements from the time you went upstairs?
I went to my dressing room at the end of the corridor, bathed and dressed for dinner. Angela came in. She wanted an aspirin for Miss Grant, who had a headache. I found some, and almost immediately after Angela left, the gong sounded.
And where is your room, Miss Grant?
At the far end of the cross corridor at the back of the house, next to Angela's. Angela came into my room after we'd bathed.
Where is the bathroom exactly?
Opposite my room. We both used it. I first.
Did you go anywhere else while you were upstairs?
No. I came down after the alarm.
You're sure of that?
Why shouldn't I be?
Well, because, according to a statement given by the maid, Florence, to Sergeant Bunce, you were not in your room.
I told you. I was in the bathroom.
Well, this was while Miss North was occupying it. Florence said she saw you coming down the passage.
She saw me. Oh,
Rosamond! Get some brandy. The poor woman's fainted.
Looks a bit fishy, don't you think, sir? All the same, I don't quite see the young lady as our man, so to speak.
Well, then what was she doing when she was out of her room? And why tell a lie about it?
I'd be much more inclined to go for the Russian bloke.
He'd have to be pretty nimble on his pins. His room's a long way down that corridor, and everybody heard him singing. I think it's time we took a closer look at the scene of the crime. Come with me, will you, Bunce?
The last the maid saw of Mr. Rankin, he was mixing himself a cocktail. At that table, right at the foot of the stairs.
Which is probably where he was standing when he was struck down. How tall are you, Bunce?
5'11" in my socks, sir.
That's good enough. Rankin was just on 6 foot. Stand roughly where he was standing, will you?
About here, sir.
Yes, that'll do. The knife was in that leather holster affair hanging on the wall by the stairs, and well, therefore the murderer stood about here, took the dagger in his right hand, but I can't get the angle right. You see, either the banister gets in between, or if I stand on the bottom step, well, I'm too far away. See if you can get any fingerprints from the bottom knob of the banister, will you? I'm going to root around in the fireplace.
There's something very curious. But I can see it with my naked eye. A left-hand impression. Looks as if it's pointing downwards. Well, quite a funny place to get your hand. Any luck in the grate, sir?
Yes, there's some traces in the tray. It looks as though someone's been burning a piece of leather. And here's a dense press button. From a glove, by the look of it. Bunce, when you finish there, take a look around the guests' rooms. See if you can find a single glove. Yellow dogskin.
A single yellow glove? In this great warren of a place? Well, quite a tall order, but I'll give it a go. I'm not promising anything, mind.
Mr. Bathgate, just the man. Can you tell me which room is Dr. Tokaref's?
I think it's down here, along the back corridor. Yes, judging from my recollections of his vocal efforts last night, I should say this was it.
Yes, I think you're right. Thank you, Mr. Bathgate.
Oh, all right.
Very tidy fellow, by the look of things. A couple of novels, Webster's Dictionary. This must be his writing case. Locked. That shouldn't prove too much of a problem. Thought not. Documents, mostly in Russian. Photographs, all of the good doctor himself. And a seal with the engraved sign of a long-bladed dagger. Very like the one used to kill Rankin.
It's only me, sir. Mr. Bathgate told me I'd find you in here. I've had a bit of luck.
A left-handed yellow dogskin glove. A woman's by the look of it. And the button matches the one I found in the grate.
It took a bit of finding, sir. It had fallen down the back of the tall boy underneath the bottom drawer.
And in whose room did you find it?
Mrs. Wilde's.
Mrs. Wilde's? But if what Bathgate says is right, she was in her room the whole time he was talking to her husband. Oh, blast.
Well, anyone could have nipped in and swiped it earlier.
That's true. Thank you, Bunce. A most valuable bit of hunting.
Fresh air at last. I feel as if I'd been cooped up in the house for weeks.
Yes, it does rather tend to breed morbid thoughts.
Nigel, let's make a pact. We must be honest with one another about the murder. It'll help such a lot. Or am I being a nuisance?
Oh, I agree. I'm glad you suggested it. And how could you possibly be a nuisance?
Well then, that's all right. I don't think you killed Charles. Do you think I did?
No.
Who do you think did do it?
Well, I've really no idea. I'd like to think it was Tokaref, but...
Why Tokaref?
Well, he looks like a villain for a start, and I'd rather it wasn't one of your uncle's friends. Who do you think did it? Don't answer if you'd rather not.
But it's part of the pact. I rather think that it might be...
Mr. Bathgate, there's a telephone call from London. It's your paper.
Thank you, Mrs. Wilde. I'm just coming. Well?
I think I'd better keep it to myself just for the moment. I might be very wrong.
I've been having a word with a fingerprint expert. He's been picking up everyone's prints. Very unobtrusively, you understand. Teacups and so on. Anyway, that left-hand print on the stair knob is Mr. Wilde's.
And like his wife, he has a perfect alibi for the time of the murder.
But there's something else has come up, sir.
What's that?
The deceased's dinner jacket, sir.
What about it?
Well, there's a good deal of liquid powder down the face of it. I understand that Mr. Rankin was rather keen on the ladies.
Any idea which particular lady?
We've had a bit of a go round the dressing tables of Mrs. Wilde, Miss Grant and Miss North. Mrs. Wilde seems to travel with an entire beauty parlour in tow, and Miss Grant's not too far behind her.
So, which of them was it?
Well, a combination of Mrs. Wilde's milk of gardenia and Miss Grant's, Chanel No. 5.
Well, evidently Mr. Rankin got about a bit.
Yes, sir. And I understand from the undergardener that his youngest, Sissy, I think her name is, said she'd seen a man and a woman in the coppice on the day of the murder.
Any idea which particular man and woman?
No, sir, but the woman was getting rather worked up. And she was wearing a lovely red cap.
I think it's high time we found out whether the fair Rosamond has recovered from her attack of the vapours.
So, do I head the list of your suspects, Inspector?
I think you were ill-advised to mislead me this morning. Far better to tell me where you went after your bath last night. I cannot force you to answer, but I earnestly advise you to do so. Very well. Tell me whom you went walking with in the woods, wearing your red cap.
I can't tell you. I can't.
As you please. Perhaps, before I go, you will let me have a few details about yourself. How long had you known Mr. Rankin?
6 years.
Quite a long friendship.
I met him at Cambridge. I was a student at Newnham, and Charles seemed to know everybody. He was nearly 20 years older than I.
At Newnham? You must have been up with a cousin of mine, Christina Alleyn. She's a fully-fledged chemist now, and lives in an ultra-modern flat in Knightsbridge.
Yes, I remember her, I think.
Well, I won't trouble you any further today, Miss Grant. But be advised by me, think it over. I shall come back to see you tomorrow. Make up your mind to tell me where you went immediately before Mr. Rankin was murdered.
I'll bear it in mind, Inspector.
Hello? Could I speak to Christina Alleyn, please? What? Oh, Christina, I didn't recognize you. You sounded so grand. Look, you can help me if you will. Drag your mind away from shattered atoms and bicarbonate of soda. Cast it back 6 years and tell me everything you can remember about a girl called Rosamond Grant, who was up at Newnham with you. Yes. Yes. She what? Oh, I think I'd like to know rather more about that.
Rosamond? I thought you were supposed to be confined to your room.
I couldn't stand being cooped up in there any longer. I shall be joining your jolly party downstairs in time for a juicy chat about your cousin's murder.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Have I dropped a brick? Do you mean you don't even discuss it? Angela and I do. Or at least Angela talks and I listen. And she's a peculiar person, Angela. What are you thinking about? Are you wondering if I killed Charles?
We all wonder about each other all day and half the night.
I don't.
Well, you're the more fortunate.
I only wonder what that man Alleyn is doing. What he is building up out of this great mass of detail. What ugly conclusions he is coming to. Oh, God. Oh, God, I wish Charles wasn't dead. A week ago, no, 3 days ago, I thought to myself, quite seriously, you know, that I should be glad if I knew that I was going to die. Now I am terrified.
What do you mean? No, don't tell me without being sure you won't wish that you hadn't.
I'll tell you this much. It is not that detective I'm afraid of.
Then why don't you go to him and make a clean breast of whatever it is?
I have no intention of betraying myself.
I don't understand you. Why can't you tell Alan what you did when you went upstairs? Nothing can be more dangerous than your silence.
Supposing I said I went in search of Charles. Someone's coming.
It's Marjorie.
I didn't realize you'd been let out, Rosamond. Are you feeling better?
Yes, thank you. We've been having a cosy little chat about the murder. Who do you think did it?
I don't understand you. How can you talk about it like this?
You're acting the part of a woman who's been deeply shocked, Marjorie. You're feeling it too, I expect, but not in the way you want to convey to us.
How like you to talk silly, clever stuff that makes you feel superior. I'm sick of cleverness.
I'm off. The doctor's coming at 4:30 to get on with his cure for the after effects of murder. The mixture as before.
Have you seen Arthur anywhere?
He was in the library when I last saw him.
I do think men are extraordinary. Arthur doesn't seem to realize how I feel about it all. He leaves me by myself for hours at a time while he and Hubert talk about Russian politics. I should have thought he would... Oh, but here he is. Are you coming back into the house?
No, I'm going for a walk in the woods.
Well, I shall leave you then. Arthur! Arthur!
Smell of burning. Somebody must be having a bonfire. Oh, there goes Dr. Tokaref. What the devil is he up to? I wonder if that fire's something to do with him. He's been burning papers of some sort. If I could grab some of them before the fire gets them. Ouch! Damn blast! Right, what the devil have we got here?
They won't mean much to you.
Help! boots?
Oh, they're in Russian. I've seen these papers before. They were in his room. And if they're important enough for him to burn them, they're important enough for the Russian expert at the Yard. Thank you for singeing your fingers, Bathgate. Let's go and make ourselves comfortable on that log. I want to talk to you. Every member of this household is concealing something from me. You are yourself, you know.
How do you mean?
I was watching you with Miss Grant and Mrs. Wilde. There's something that hasn't come out yet, and I fancy I know what it is.
Oh, Lord. Alan, it's all so beastly. And it doesn't amount to a row of beans.
Let me be the judge of that. How far had the affair between Charles Rankin and Mrs. Wilde gone?
I don't know. I mean, how did you find that out?
He held her in his arms on Saturday night. Now, if it was in his room...
It wasn't.
Oh, then where was it? Oh, come on. I've got under your guard.
Oh, hell. I'll come clean. It was on the night before the murder. I'd come down early and was taking a look at Hubert's guns. They're in the little room across the hall. And I heard voices in the drawing room beyond.
You've no right to order me about like this. You treat me as if I were completely at your beck and call.
But don't you rather enjoy that, Marjorie?
Oh, why are you such a beast to me, Charles? You might at least...
Might at least what?
What is the position between you and Rosamond?
Rosamond is cryptic. She tells me she is too fond of me to marry me.
And yet all the time you... Oh, I'm such a fool.
Yes, you are rather a little goat, aren't you? Come here.
Oh. Do you love me?
No, not really. Not quite, my dear. But you're very attractive. Won't that do?
Do you love Rosamond?
Oh, for goodness sake, Marjorie.
I could hate you. You're vile.
And then the gong sounded for dinner. Charles and Marjorie left very hastily, and at that moment I heard someone coming out of the little alcove next to the gun room. I realized that whoever it was must have been hiding there and listening to every word of that conversation.
Have you any idea whom it might have been?
I rather felt that it was a woman. At least, they sounded like a woman's footsteps.
Thank you, Mr. Bathgate. How would you care to be a part-time amateur sleuth?
Oh, I'd love to. But why me?
Because you're the only person who has an absolutely cast-iron alibi.
Oh, that's nice to know.
Well, I want you to help me out. I need to have a good look round Marjorie Wilde's room. I'd like you to keep KV, as we used to say at school. Stay in your room and keep your ears and eyes open. I'm reckoning that everybody will be in the drawing room at this time of day, but if you hear anyone coming, you can nip through the bathroom you share with Wilde and tip me the wink.
What are you hoping to find?
Well, I'm not quite sure. Souvenirs, letters, keepsakes, that kind of thing.
It all sounds a bit sneaky.
I'm afraid that is what sleuthing is all about, being sneaky. Come on.
Alan's certainly taking his time. He's been in there for ages. Marjorie can't have that many secrets to hide. Oh, somebody's coming down the corridor. Alan! Alan!
What the devil?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Arthur. I thought you were Alan.
So I gathered, Bathgate. Now, will you kindly tell me, did you think Alan was here? Or in my wife's room?
Well, you see,
In your wife's room, as it happens. Mr. Wilde, I've been investigating all the rooms. It's part of the procedure.
Why must you torture us all like this? My wife has nothing to conceal. How could she have possibly killed Rankin? Everyone knows that she couldn't even look at a knife. It's impossible.
Mr. Wilde, that is all I am trying to prove, that it is impossible. Now, tea is waiting for us all downstairs. Could I have a quiet word with you, Bathgate?
Stop.
Before...
It's no good. I'll confess. I can't bear the strain any longer. I killed Rankin.
When did you do it, Mr. Wilde?
Before I came upstairs, when I was alone with him.
You're telling me that when you were cheerfully talking to Mr. Bathgate from the bathroom, you were also downstairs in the hall, where under the nose of a housemaid who didn't happen to notice, you plunged a dagger into Mr. Rankin?
Well, the girl had gone. I didn't mean to do it. It was all part of the game, you see.
I don't believe a word of it, Mr. Wilde. And as for games, you're playing an extremely dangerous one. I shall be in the study if you can spare me a moment, Bathgate.
Look here, Arthur. We're all letting our nerves get the better of us. I'm certain that no one really suspects your wife. Alan must know that she couldn't have done it. You told a brave lie, and I admire you for it, but it was a very silly one. Pull yourself together and forget all about it.
I plucked up my courage and asked Miss Angela if we three might have tea together in here. She's just bringing it.
What an extraordinary business that was just now.
Yes, it was.
Of course his wife is innocent. I mean, look at her alibi.
I'm looking at it. A lovely alibi, isn't it?
Here we are. How'd you like your tea, Inspector?
No milk, thank you. Tell me, has Miss Grant told you where she was while you were having your bath on Sunday evening?
She hasn't told me, but I think I know where she went.
Well?
To Charles Rankin's room, only to find that he wasn't there.
What makes you think she went there?
The morning after the murder, Uncle Hubert told me you wanted Charles's room locked up, so I did it myself. Rosamond has a pair of bath slippers with green fluffy stuff above the instep. There was a wisp of it on the carpet in his room.
You really are quite superb. What was the relationship between Rankin and Miss Grant?
I can't discuss anything of that sort.
Very well. Let me tell you what I think. Rankin wanted her to marry him. She refused because of his relationship with another woman, am I right?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Mr. Bathgate overheard a rather passionate encounter between Rankin and Mrs. Wilde on the night before the murder, and he was under the impression that somebody else heard it too. I am firmly of the opinion that person was Rosamond Grant.
Surely you're not suggesting...
I'm suggesting nothing at this stage, but Miss Grant is possessed of an extremely violent temper. When she was at Cambridge, some girl or other ragged her about her friendship with Rankin, and Miss Grant went for her with a knife. It was quite a scandal, and she was very lucky not to have been sent down.
Well, even so, I'm certain she didn't kill Charles. I don't see how she could have managed it.
Now, there's another aspect of the case I want to discuss with you both. Can either of you remember anything at all, that Rankin said about the man who gave him the knife?
He told us that it had been sent to him by some Russian he'd pulled out of a crevasse. But I can't remember anything he said about the man himself.
Yes, there was one thing. He said that the Russian lost 2 of his fingers through frostbite.
The devil he did. Let me tell you that on the night before the murder, a Russian was killed in Soho, and he had 2 fingers of his left hand missing.
So that means...
that there's a definite link between that dagger and some secret Russian society.
And Tokaref has a seal ring with a figure of that dagger on it. And he's standing outside the French window now, listening to every word we say. Quick, Bathgate, after him!
It's all right, Inspector. I've got him.
Will you please get this fat policeman off my stomach? I am innocent.
So what's that under your coat, Doctor?
Good Lord, it's the dagger, the one that killed Rankin.
What the devil's going on? What are you doing to Tokaref?
They have put me under arrest. I swear that I am innocent of the murder.
Dr. Tokaref, I am charging you with...
I am innocent, I tell you. I did not kill him.
I am charging you with conspiracy and sedition, of membership of an illegal society, and being an accomplice in the murder of Svatoslav Krasinski.
Krasinski? Who the devil's he?
He's the man who gave Rankin the dagger, the symbol of the Brotherhood of the Black Eagle, which Tokaref was attempting to carry off with him. Now take him down to the station, Sergeant.
Sir, come along.
But does this mean that it was Tokaref who killed Charles?
Nothing so convenient, I'm afraid. Krasinski was pretty certainly murdered by the Brotherhood for giving away the dagger to Rankin, and Tokaref was obviously determined to get it back, but that's as far as it goes. Unless he's a skilled ventriloquist and can throw his voice upstairs and all the way along the back corridor, he's out of it.
So where do we go from here?
Well, back to the body at the foot of the stairs. Tell me, Miss Angela, do you ever slide down that extremely tempting banister?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. We have competitions sometimes at Uncle Hubert's weekend parties. Face first without hanging on.
Competitions?
Yes, I'm quite good at it. So was Charles. Marjorie can't do it at all. Rosamond won't even try. And poor Dr. Tokaref was hopeless when he had to go at it.
Why do you want to know? It can't have anything to do with the murder, surely.
On the contrary, I think it may have everything to do with it. But I shall do my best to keep my lively imagination in check until after the inquest tomorrow. Not that I expect anything very much to come out of that.
Murder by person or persons unknown and adjourned for a month. Hardly very surprising. At least all my guests will be free to go home now. Bathgate, I can't tell you how deeply I regret the tragic circumstances of your first visit to Frantok.
Oh, please, sir. You were one of Charles's oldest friends. I'm sure you must have felt his death more than most of us.
That's right. I was extremely fond of him.
I believe he has left you a number of pictures and books, but since the greater part of his possessions come to me, I do hope that you will let me know if there is anything you would like to have as a particular reminder of it.
That's very thoughtful of you. Well, I'm sure there's nothing that except perhaps the dagger. As you remember, he assigned it to me.
You want the dagger?
It may seem strange to you, but you're not a passionately committed collector. And it seemed to me that I should have it in memory of Charles. Yes, well, I must go and attend to my guests. Rosamond is still terribly upset, I believe.
Yes, of course. And I must go and pack.
Ah, Bathgate. I was looking for you. Let's find somewhere we can talk undisturbed.
Why? What's up? Are you going to tell me you've discovered the murderer?
Well, as a matter of fact, I am.
Did you really mean that?
Yes, it's true. I believe I know, but I want to go over the mechanics of the crime with you first.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
The position of the body led me to assume that Rankin had been stabbed from behind and from above. But there seemed no place where the assailant could have stood to achieve this. But then I found a clue. On the knob at the bottom of the banister were the faint but unmistakable impressions left by two hands that had gripped it from above. The left-hand print was moderately clear, but the right had evidently been made by a hand wearing a leather glove. It called up a picture of someone standing with his back to the stairs, leaning across the curved end of the banister at a very unlikely angle. A highly improbable attitude, unless...
The person was sitting astride the banister, so that was why you asked Angela about sliding down.
And she seems to have ruled out two of my suspects, Marjorie Wilde and Dr. Tokaref.
Then who?
Well, I then turned my attention to the underborder of the bottom of the banister, the wooden base into which the uprights are set. And there was a single print there. Evidently the maids don't trouble to poke their dusters through the rails.
But how could anyone manage to get their hand through the rails, and why should they?
It was not the print of a hand, but of a naked foot. And with that discovery, a vivid little scene began to take shape. Now picture it, Bathgate. The hall is dimly lit. Rankin is bending over the cocktail tray, pouring himself a drink from the shaker. The stairs are practically in darkness. At the top of them appears a dim figure wearing a dressing gown, or perhaps only clad in underclothes. There's a glove on the murderer's right hand. The figure slides silently down the banister, reaches across to where the dagger hangs in its holster, and stabs Rankin, who pitches forward, striking the gong with his head.
So that is why the gong sounded.
And the figure on the banister reaches out and switches off the light. Total darkness. Well?
What do you mean, well? Am I supposed to know who it is?
I'm certainly not going to tell you, and I have to admit there's only one real bit of evidence in the whole case, the button of the glove worn by the murderer. So I've decided to make an extraordinary experiment. I'm going to ask all the suspect persons to look on while we go through a reconstruction of the murder as I think it happened.
And who's going to play the murderer?
Well, that's of no importance at this stage. It'll be a purely arbitrary choice. I've asked Miss Angela to round up all the guests just before they leave, for a cocktail in the hall. They should be getting together any moment now.
I've posted constables at the front door and in the dining room, and there'll be another at the top of the stairs when he's needed.
Good work, Buns. And I shall need you to impersonate the victim again.
Very good, sir. Head first into the gong, I presume.
That's the way. Now, off you go.
Sir.
The buzzer is ringing, the house lights are down, the curtain's going up. Take your seats, ladies and gentlemen, for the last act. May I have your attention for a moment? I realise that you have all found it inconvenient and extremely distressing to have been cooped up here for the last 4 days. Before you go, however, I've decided to let you all understand the theory of the police as to the manner in which this crime was committed. The simplest way to make myself clearly understood is to reconstruct the machinery of the murder. And to do so, I shall require 2 persons to play the parts of the victim and the murderer. Is there anyone who would care to volunteer?
No.
Now, steady on, darling. It's all right. It'll be better for us all to hear what Inspector Alleyn has to tell us.
Yeah, I agree, Arthur. If I can be of any help at all, I'm perfectly willing.
Thank you very much indeed, Sir Hubert, but I won't ask you to perform the peculiar feat that I believe to be necessary. I want someone to slide down the banisters face foremost.
But why?
I don't think I could manage that.
It's no good looking at me. That's not my style at all.
Well, I could do it.
I think I'd rather it was a man, someone with a bit more weight. What about you, Mr. Wilde?
Well, I'm getting a bit stiff in the joints for that sort of thing, but I'll have a go if you really want me to.
Oh, thank you. I shall ask Sergeant Bunce to impersonate Mr. Rankin. Are you there, Bunce?
All present and correct, Mr. Allen.
Right. Now, if you'll take up your position at the foot of the stairs, pouring yourself a drink from the cocktail shaker. Good. Now, Mr. Wilde, it's my theory that the murderer slid down the banister rail, took the dagger from the leather strap on the wall there with his right hand, leant over and drove it home. Do you think you could do that for me?
Well, it all sounds too fantastic for words, but I'll do my best.
So, if you'd care to go to the top of the stairs and position yourself on the banister.
Right you are, Inspector.
Could you turn the lights out, Bathgate?
Right here.
I don't like this. I don't like it at all.
Right, Mr. Wilde, down you come.
It's horrible.
Faster, faster. Excellent. Now grab the dagger.
I can't reach it.
Well, I'm sure you can. Reach out for it with your right hand. That's the way. I knew you could do it. Now, strike. There, you see. That's how it was done. Lights, please, Mr. Bathgate. Well done, Mr. Wilde. Only you forgot something. The yellow glove. You burned one, but here's the companion to it.
God rot your bloody soul.
Take him away, Bunce.
I still don't see how it could possibly have been Arthur Wilde. I was talking to him all the time he was having his bath.
Yes, I know you thought that. His wretched wife thought so too. It confused all my thinking for a long time. You had this mental picture of Wilde lying there in his tub and washing behind his ears. You heard all the suitable noises. Running taps, splashy, soapy noises and so on. If you could have seen...
Seen what?
Seen Wilde come into the bathroom in his underpants, clutching the glove he'd taken from the tall boy in his wife's room a little while earlier. He turned on the tap, splashed about with his hands, pretended to be washing while he spoke to you. And then, probably calling out to you first, he slipped out through the door of his dressing room just as the maid entered your room.
You mean that was when he killed Rankin?
Exactly. 8 seconds later, the gong sounded and all the lights went out. Wilde darted back, tore off his clothes and got into the bath. And while he was lying there, chatting to you, well, I imagine he gave himself a thorough scrub in case Rankin's blood had spattered his body.
But why did he do it?
Well, primarily for the money. He knew that Rankin was leaving him £3,000. I've been making a few inquiries, and he seems to have been in a bit of a fix generally. Marjorie Wilde owes over 1,000 to various dressmakers, and he'd lost heavily on his last book. But I don't think money was the only reason.
You mean it was because of the way that Rankin was carrying on with his wife?
Yes, it was all pretty shameless, and Rankin didn't go out of his way to conceal it. And that stupid Marjorie Wilde was very careless. While you were keeping KV, I found letters from Rankin to her that didn't leave much doubt about their relationship, with Wilde's fingerprints all over them. But I think it was Rosamond who finally convinced him that his wife was having a full-blown affair.
How did you find that out?
The day after she'd overheard that conversation between them, the one you told me about, she went for a walk with Wilde. The gardener's child said that she appeared very upset. I'm certain that she was telling him about his wife's infidelity. And almost as soon as she'd done it, she regretted it. And that's why she went to look for Rankin in his room while Angela was having her bath. She waited for him to come back, but he stayed downstairs, pouring himself a last drink, before he got a dagger in his back.
Will they get a conviction, do you think?
That's hard to say. Remember, he's already confessed once.
I suppose he thought he was being extraordinarily clever, pulling the wool over our eyes like that. God, what a ghastly business.
Yes, it's hardly a suitable introduction to the delights of Frantic. I take it you'll be going back there from time to time?
Well, I rather think I will. Yes.
Well, I'm glad that something has come out of all this horror. May I give one word of advice to you both?
What's that?
Don't join in any more games of murder. It's best left to the experts.
In A Man Lay Dead by Niall Marsh, Chief Detective Inspector Alleyn was played by Jeremy Clyde. Nigel Bathgate, Nick Waring. Angela North, Molly Gaisford. Sir Hubert Handesley, Donald Sinden. Arthur Wilde, John Moffat. Marjorie Wilde, Dorothy Tutin. Rosamond Grant, Susanna Corbett. Dr. Tokaref, John Hartley. Charles Rankin, Derek Waring. Sergeant Bunce, Stephen Thorne. A Man Lay Dead was dramatised for radio by